Oh, bro, I just realized Walt's already making a video on this shit. Oh, Cody, I'm so sorry. Cody, he's gonna include these chat messages in the video. You're only giving him more fuel.
Bro, I don't even know what to say anymore. Look, you guys know the story. A teenager just beat the best player in the world with Luigi, but this time it wasn't Zain on the receiving end. It was Cody Schwab, the guy who just won Genesis X3 from losers with one of, if not the greatest bracket run in Melee history. Cody was the best player in the world at the end of 2023, and in my opinion has a very strong argument for being considered the best player in the world right now. But then, RapMonster did this.
Let's hold our horses, but let's also let him loose.
Cody is a capable player of making this back.
Holy
Cody is more than capable of making this back. Oh my gosh. He just falls to his death. He just falls. RapMonster 3-0 over Cody Schwab. Bada bing, bada boom. See you in losers.
Upload this yesterday. This is historic. Cody Schwab, historically the greatest player online Melee for Cashbox Coinbox ever. And we have an absolute juggernaut upset here. Cody, if you copyright strike Walt for doing that, you might actually, like, someone might, like, come to your house with a baseball bat or something, bro.
Oh, him.
Hey, thank you so much to ZocDoc for sponsoring today's video. So, personal anecdote, I actually used ZocDoc recently to find a new primary care doctor, and I kind of wish I had done it sooner because the whole process of, like, finding a doctor the normal way it's genuinely bad. Like, it actually kind of sucks. You're Googling around, you have no idea who's good, you don't know who takes your insurance, which that's a whole different can of worms, and then you finally find someone and call, and it turns out they're not taking new patients. So you just never go to the doctor, and then like a year passes and you still don't have a doctor. That's like pretty much what happened to me. ZocDoc is a free site where you can search for doctors by specialty, filter by your insurance, and actually see thousands of verified patient reviews. So you get a real sense of who this person is before you even book. I found a primary care I felt good about, booked the appointment right there without any phone call, and literally got in the same day. The whole thing took maybe 5 minutes. ZocDoc has over 200 specialties in all 50 states, and you can do in-person or video visits, whichever one you prefer. So please be kind to yourself this year and look after your health. If you're interested, you can go to ZocDoc.com/turndownforALT or click the link in the description to find and book a top-rated in-network doctor today. Thanks again to ZocDoc for supporting the channel, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. Okay, I guess he technically just graduated high school, but RapMonster is still 19, which still has teen in the name, so yeah, I don't know, late adolescence, I guess? I'm not clickbaiting, am I? Whatever, let me set the stage here. It's April 7th, 2026, and Hungrybox's tournament series, renamed to Cashbox, is going down, and it is absolutely stacked. Cody Schwab, Jmook, Hungrybox, Axe, Moki, Sunsei, Salt, and my favorite players of the modern era with a combined age of 33, DialM, and RapM. Unfortunately, RapMonster and DialM had to play against each other in the round prior to Cody, but then DialM had an arguably crazier win as a result by beating Jmook, so let me know if you want to see a video about that one, but yeah, RapM came in off the back of everything I've already talked about in the last few videos. 3 separate wins over Zain, and a community that is now fully bought in on this kid's Luigi. But here is the pretty obvious thing about playing against Cody. Cody plays Fox. This is not the Marth matchup I've spent however many videos now dissecting. The Fox-Luigi matchup is a completely different beast than Marth-Luigi. I've talked about how I personally don't think the Marth-Luigi matchup is particularly good, but I think a lot of mid-tier character mains will tell you that they actually don't mind Marth out of all the top tiers that exist. As a Mario player, I actually really like playing against Marth because he has a pretty favorable weight to get hit by strings, and the edgeguards are a lot more straightforward. Speaking of, in those last few Luigi videos I talked about how RapM's edgeguard game was an incredible equalizing tool. Marth's rather linear recovery and the ledge dynamics we've talked about ad nauseum create windows that Luigi can somewhat easily flowchart and exploit. There is a flowchart for Fox, and I'll get to that later, but Fox does not have that problem as bad as Marth does. Edgeguards are still necessary and good for Luigi, but Fox has 1,000,001 recovery angles, he can recover from much further out, and Illusion gives him just another mix-up on top of it all that Marth just simply doesn't have. What this means for the plumbers is that you sometimes have to guess if you fully commit to an offstage play, and an incorrect guess can lead to a disastrous reversal. I'm going to come back to edgeguards in more depth in a second, but you may now be thinking, what about neutral? Against Zain, we talked about how Luigi's burst movement, think wave dash forward tilt, wave dash down tilt, etc., can interrupt Marth at ranges where maybe other mid-tiers can't. Fox's frame data is just generally better than Marth's though. Shine is like the best move in the game and it comes out on frame 1, Nair is frame 4, Drill is frame 5, and more importantly you can't exactly hold down against it, which is super common counterplay for the plumbers. The windows RapMonster has been exploiting against Marth should, in theory, be a little bit tighter against Fox. But despite all of this, RapMonster still 3-0'd Cody, and there are the caveats that this was online and Cody was practicing a Falco for a period of time, but still, that's a huge achievement, so how did he do it? Once again, I reached out to Gibbles, RapMonster's coach, and the infinite wisdom of the Luigi Discord for some more notes. When they're not memeing the shit out of me and sharing like one collective brain cell, they actually have a ton of really good insight. At its core, the same big, giant, obnoxious red flag comes up. Luigi's disadvantage is just plain horrible. The first and arguably most important execution test for Luigi, or like any low traction character for that matter, is to make sure you're almost always hitting a fast fall snap to ledge when Fox shines you. Fox's shine on low traction characters can quite literally create an edge guarding position from one singular button, and if you get caught with your guard down on that, you'll lose a lot of stocks basically for free. Hitting Shine versus Luigi is pretty comparable to hitting Shine versus Ices, where you're mostly getting stage position since high-level players will be on their ledge snaps, but even then Luigi has a pretty good ledge dash. So even if you do get execution tested, snapping to ledge isn't exactly the same thing as being put in disadvantage. I think this singular interaction alone is probably why a lot of Fox players can look not so good in this matchup, because a drill shine is just that, it's just a drill shine. They're almost never getting anything more than that. Talking more with Gibbles, he mentioned that RapMonster is actually pretty well versed in the Fox matchup, not only because Fox is one of the most common characters in the game, but largely in part due to Daytripper, the number 2 player in MDVA, and Maelstrom, another Fox in the area RapM actually struggled heavily with before trading sets with Daytripper. One of the big reasons Melee players complain about Luigi is because he's one of the best characters in the game at finding reversals. Also because he's Italian. But the reversal thing is maybe in some ways complemented by having literally the worst airspeed in the game, and that particularly bad disadvantage I keep bringing up, so those qualities can sometimes bait opponents into getting too thirsty for a follow-up hit. This is more like funny than anything, but I made a breakdown video on Hungrybox's Fox back in 2019, and Cody even comments on how to invalidate some of Luigi's approach options in that video too. I just thought that was kind of an interesting full circle moment, but anyway, CC down smash on bad aerials, nairs, or dares, those can all convert to a lot, but most importantly, they all get you knockdowns. In 2024, Gibbles and RapMonster had their first VOD review on a Daytripper set, and the biggest piece of advice Gibbles gave him was anytime you get an early % knockdown, RCT it into either a pop-up onto a platform or a hit off stage. So let's look at some examples in this set. This one in game 1 resulted in a missed punish, but I think the point still gets across pretty well. RapM gets a rising nair from the ledge, Cody misses the tech, then a down smash into platform follow-up plus RTC on top platform. Obviously, you want to hit the big finisher here, but the bones are there. The last stock of game 1 is similar in concept, but Cody never even gets a chance at the knockdown, so you can just confirm the down smash after the nair before he even hits the ground. This one, I would say, is more just RapM playing the stock like really well. Check this one out, super simple, but CC into down tilt to confirm a stock is just an incredible choice. Mewtwo King already broke this one down, so I'm just gonna let him talk for a sec.
Right here, I wanna mention how this was optimal.
Shields.
Right here at 111%, if you do a down smash here with Luigi, you're gonna send them very high, but not enough to kill. That means you get no combo and no kill. That's not great. Surely we can do better than that, right? So what does Luigi do? Instead of doing the down smash at this %, he does down tilt. It's a little bit slower, I think. Well, I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know the exact frame. I know down smash is 5 and down tilt's got to be 5 or less, 5 or so. I'm not sure. It's either the same speed or slower, but it's similar enough that the only reason down tilt here is better than down smash is because with the down tilt, you can get a potential follow-up if you guess which way they're gonna tech. If Cody had done, if RapMonster had done a CC down smash, this wouldn't have worked. This is where knowing your character and the matchup and the game matters. If this was a lower %, down smash would have been better. Like if this was 0 damage, 50 damage, down smash is better, right? If this is like 150 or whatever, what 200 when it kills, down smash is still better. But at these percents where down smash fails to combo and fails to kill, then the down tilt is better risk reward ratio. Because that's the only way you have a chance you can kill here.
But I think the first stock of Game 3 really shows the best of both worlds. The first leg of the stock comes mostly from knockdowns, and what's crazy is Cody also presents like several different knockdown response options too, so it's not exactly the most straightforward thing to follow up. On the first knockdown, Rap waits out the get-up attack and lands a down smash. The second one, he follows the roll and gets another down smash which pops up to the platform. And the third one is a tech in place and honestly a bit of an error from Cody, attempting to shield drop away and perhaps find a reversal, which gets blown up by RapMonster faring underneath the platform. The string basically goes from 0 to 95 with a couple more hits, and then we see the reversal stuff come into play to cross the finish line on the stock. First, it's just a classic low percent nair to counter Cody's double bear that was drifted too far in. Then Cody picks up a 3-piece but misses the turnaround on his up tilt, which finds a second Luigi nair out. And in the end, another pair of bears from Cody pushes RapMonster towards the ledge. This positioning is honestly really good for Cody here, because Luigi's looking real appetizing for a follow-up hit, and Cody has every reason to air out an up smash for the stock because even a trade isn't all that terrible, but now RapMonster brings out the dare mix-up to just straight up win the interaction and take the stock. Even though there were a few missed opportunities throughout this interaction, I think the principles that are surrounding the early to late percent transitions as they pertain to knockdowns and reversals are just really cool to me. The very next stock, RapMonster gets what I think is the edgeguard of the tournament, and I'm just gonna let the clip play out for a second so you can see it for yourself because, yeah, HBox, I'm with you.
They play their neutral, and if it doesn't work out, they reset a lot of the time. Luigi, a gifted character!
He fucking lives!
This is sick, and I'll break it down more in a second, but it's a pretty good segue for me to discuss edgeguard flowcharts, since in all honesty, we didn't really see a lot of it from RapMonster in this set. Generally speaking, the Luigi simply wants to win a 50-50, and there are a few things Luigi can do to swing that 50-50 in his favor. Chief among them is using his extreme floatiness to threaten a space for what feels like a really long time. After mind melding with the Luigi Discord a bit more, I learned that this is apparently the Ja Raiden method, but it goes a little something like this. If you get a fox off stage, you start by positioning yourself parallel to the fox near the ledge. You can then short hop without a fast fall to cover a pretty large area around the ledge and then react with bear to cover fox's illusion. If they don't illusion and charge an up B, depending on positioning, you can spend your double jump to hit them on startup or go for a 50-50 on the high-low. If you're positioned correctly and get the first hit off the illusion, you can then go to the ledge because you're already headed that way, and from there you're basically just hitting like reverse hit dare or cross court bear or imagination, depending on what angles the fox has and how far they are from the ledge. Okay, nerd talk over, let's go back to the main clip. This one starts with a down throw in the corner, and I think this is pretty cool because it's actually sort of a DI trap. Cody DIs this one off stage, which results in the lost stock, but if you hold in for it and stay on stage, you're usually eating a down smash, which can result in some of the knockdown shenanigans I mentioned earlier. But now that he is off stage, it's really common for Luigi to just go down there and get a hit, but Cody is at 7%, so most of Luigi's aerials aren't really placing Cody in a dangerous position. RapMonster's dare connects, and then he basically Omega Turbo hard calls an immediate jump from Cody. Like, you can see him starting the fair before Cody's even out of the magnifying glass, which is just wild. There's no resources left for either player now, but like I said before, Fox's recovery is pretty good. If he were uninterrupted here, Cody can probably angle a 45 and still grab the ledge, but RapMonster finds the quite literal best case scenario here. Charging a missile, holding it until Cody launches with his up B, and hitting the trade to bring him right back to safety with Cody now definitely too far away to recover. Top to bottom, this clip is just incredible. The trade survival recognition, hard reading a jump, it is all just so freaking good. Now, I'll disclaim and say that some of this stuff is heavily contextualized by both characters' positioning, so the sweats in the chat will say it makes sense that he went for the missile play because there was nothing left for either of them to do, or that RapMonster covered a jump because Cody was already in the magnifying glass, but I think all of us can still appreciate this clip regardless. I've also said like many times on record that I think Cody may have the best decision making like in the game when it comes to recovery, so to put one of the best players in the world in a scramble situation like that and still make it out alive is just sick. RapMonster even basically hits the same setup on the final stock of the set to close it out 3-0. That is just absolute cinema. Obviously, the Cody win is an incredible achievement, but what I want to highlight is that across 3 sets in one night, DK, Fox, and later Falcon, RapMonster demonstrated matchup flexibility that I don't think we've seen from a solo mid-tier player in a really long time. Despite this being online and any other caveats that may exist, I think what makes this result perhaps as or more significant than any of the Zain wins now is simply the fact that this is a different character. At Genesis X3, the tournament Cody won in one of the most impressive losers bracket runs the game has ever seen, I mentioned on commentary that I genuinely thought Wizrobe, a Falcon player, could give RapMonster a much harder time than a Zain or a Cody simply for the fact that the matchup is just really hard. Beating the best Marth 3 times is incredible, don't get me wrong, but it invites maybe a lazy narrative of, well, maybe RapMonster's just good at the matchup. Beating the best Fox player in the world, followed by beating one of the best Falcon players in the world, in my mind just kills that argument dead. Luigi is in some ways a gimmick, but this certainly is not. I know I'm overplaying this shit, but that's what my channel and I guess my quote-unquote job as a Melee analyst is all about. In my opinion, RapMonster is one of the most exciting players in Melee right now. He earned a second place at this tournament, undeniably the best Luigi run in modern Melee and arguably the best Luigi run in history, but not winning the tournament showed that the ceiling isn't infinite. At some point, the best players in the world will figure it out. The question now isn't whether or not RapMonster is for real, I'm 4 videos past that. The question now is whether RapMonster can sustain through those players figuring it out. He just graduated high school and he's only got a year left before we can't technically call him a teenager, but I'm gonna call it now and say that this guy's probably top 10 in the world, if not better. So as for me, I'm just around for the wild Luigi ride, I guess. Thanks for watching.
Is RapMonster fucking beating Zain and Cody Schwab? Is this kid the future of Melee?
Big thank you to Abishua Stein, Bobby Wasabi, Brent Mukai, Carter Roberts, Dark Gen X, Eric is Cool, Gustavo Cantu Fernandez, James Fadman, Justin Duncan Mills, Kyle Carlin, Marshall Bradley, and Sam Wright.